Howdy, Possum Patty here, and I've got a quite a heavy bag of some flea market finds to share with you. You know, at the beginning of the flea market season, I was finding a lot of actual scrapbooking supplies like paper, and that seems to be like all sold out now. So I am looking for other things that I can use in my junk journals. So come on along. Okay, so I have not been in the bag since I packed it up at the flea market on Sunday. So let me put it down on the floor because it's heavy. And the first thing I pulled out was Gift Wraps by Artist, English Floral Patterns, 18th Century Designs by William Kilburn. 16 different full color patterns, each tear out sheet 4 times book size. New, never opened. I don't think this is the original bag that it came in. But we will see. I did not open it at the market. It is pretty big, but it's beautiful. This is a book. Gift Wraps by Artists. Ooh, this is very cool. Oh, and it tells you all about it. This says, I'm looking for a date. Copyright 1987. Doesn't say when it was published, though. Oh, it was published in 1987. Wow. 1987. Wow. This is quite old. I'm smelling it. It doesn't smell too bad. I don't know if any of the paper is missing. I know nothing about it. That said $5. I did not pay $5 for it. But I did pay, I think, $4 for it. $4 for it. Oh, this is beautiful for fall. I'm hoping it's a high quality paper that I can use. I know, vintage book, why are you taking it apart? Because I buy these things to use in journals. I have no problem with taking everything apart. And I'm sorry it's so shiny. And it's not real heavy paper. No, it's not. But that's okay. And it's got a shiny surface, which is sometimes hard to glue to. I prefer a matte. I can use double-sided tape or something. Oh, look at this. I don't know, let me look at the camera. Can you see? I'm going to stick it up here as an angle to show you what I could. So each one tears out, and each piece is 4 times this size. Looks like pieces of coral on here. Beautiful colors. Yes, this one has coral too. Gorgeous. And it's got berries, flowers. And I'm assuming this is ribbons and ferns maybe. The ones in the middle might be ferns. I love this. Roses, looks like narcissus. There's a dark one with a ribbon. So I'm going to have to read at the beginning to see if these are like the original patterns from 18th century English. It is beautiful though, and yes, I'm going to rip it up. And yes, I'm going to rip it up, but it is gorgeous. Oh wow, look at this one with the branches going up. I've never seen patterns like those. Now this one I've seen things like this, definitely. No, but something like this. I've never seen anything like this. It cost me $4, but I figured that was a lot of paper. This looks like ferns and flowers. This one has like a gray background. Ooh, isn't that one interesting? Wow, the background is so detailed. Oh, and another one with the branches. Look at that. Oh, this one has thorns on it. I think they're thorns. Wow. So it looks like they're all here. And the back is, you know, you can tell this is old. It's got all that yellow spotting on there. It doesn't smell too bad, though. William Kilbourne, 1745 to 1818, the most eminent fabric designers in the late 18th century Europe. His patterns for floral chintzes achieved a level of detail and richness of color unequaled among his competitors. Included here are 16 of his exquisite Rococo textile designs from an album of watercolors in the collection of the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. Wow. Yes, they're very detailed. Gorgeous papers. Well, these will be showing up in some journals. All right, so that's number one. Number one, let's move on. But as you can see, I hadn't opened it, so I didn't even know what was in it. Oh, Language of Flowers, $2. I already have a Language of Flowers book, but I thought I would get another one. This one is completely different than the one I have. And this is this a reprint? Let's see, it doesn't say. 1989. 1989. So each flower has a secret meaning, and when you gather up the flowers together in a bouquet and send them to your love, they mean different things. And this was a big thing they did in Victorian time. So, like this Lily of the Valley, Return of Happiness. So when people gave you a flower or a bouquet, the message was hidden in the flowers that were in that bouquet. Does that make sense? So each one, it has like a poem and some meanings. So amaryllis means pride, and then there's a poem, and then there's a little bit about the flower itself, and it's got some beautiful illustrations in here. Bluebells, I love the illustrations. Look at those. So this may or may not get cut up. The other one I didn't cut up. I do refer to it though. So yeah, so I will read this one and then maybe use some of the poetry and background on the flowers in my, looks like Mary Cassatt. Let's see. I can't read it. In my journals. Wow, illustrations are gorgeous though. Hyacinth, iris. Very nice. Oh, and I like that it has poetry. Maybe I can incorporate some of that into my journals, like I said. And then just backstory on the flowers. All right, so this cost me, I pulled off the ticket, like $2. It's got a cover, more flowers. I know, flowers, flowers, flowers. That's me. And speaking of flowers, now this is also new, but completely wrapped up. Now this might be something that was never opened. And it is a stationery box. 1998. So I did get some retro stuff. Vintage style. I mean, they're in a vintage style, but they came out quite a while ago. And I only paid a few dollars for this. I think the guy was happy to get rid of it. Nobody is interested in stationery. Who writes letters, right? The Impressionist stationery box. I like the box. Let me open the box. Oh, it's a nice box. Oh, look at the box. All I have to do is put like a little picture there and keep the box. And keep the box. I used to love the stationery sets with the little ribbons around them. I probably won't open this right now. But what is this? Oh my goodness. It has a drawer. I didn't even know that. Can I open it? How do you do this? There we go. Oh my goodness, look at this. So this is, I don't know, what is this for here? You hide things under there? I don't know. But these are note cards. And where's the envelopes for the stationery? I know I could have done this all ahead of time, but what fun is it doing it with you, right? Nothing in there. So this is just note cards with envelopes. And it looks like everything is the same. All right, I'm going to open one. I'm going to open one. I have every intention of using this anyway. So everything is the same. I thought maybe there would be, you know, like a selection of different cards, but they're, oh wait, I take it back. They are slightly different. So these are all the same and these are all the same, but they're slightly different. Water lilies. Okay, so we got water lilies. Oh, and there's the envelope. I think the envelopes are behind the stationery. So I got stationery, note cards, and envelopes. And this awesome box with the drawer. And I can come up with a use for this for sure. This is very heavy. Throw in the book on top of that. And this giant pack of wrapping paper. Just these 3 things alone. That was heavy. Heavy, heavy, heavy. All right, but there's more in there. And I got another book. And that says $2.50. I didn't pay $2.50. I think I paid $2 for this. And I was looking for some books that had fairies in them. And I did find this, like Mr. Possum's like, oh, I didn't find anything I was looking for. And I was like, oh, I found like 2 exact things that I was looking for. And this was one of them. And for $2, of course, now I have to read the story because I've never read this story before. But it's a Midsummer Night's Fairy Tale. And look at the illustrations in this book. And look at this little guy down here. He's so cute. Looks like he's got rosemary. The illustrations are adorable. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Of course now, oh, these are like all 3-dimensional figures somebody made for the book. I can't believe it. It's like each page is like a whole scene that they created. To show the story, to illustrate the story. Look at that, isn't she beautiful? Is that like a porcelain doll? I bet you it tells you somewhere in here. Let's see if it's information at the back. Simon and Schuster. Oh, look at that. Oh yes, Wendy was a doll maker at the age of 5, so I guess she made all the dolls. Oh, she worked on Empire Strikes Back. She is credited as the fabricator of the beloved character Yoda and Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, The Muppet Show, The Muppet Movie. Her dolls and figures are highly sought after. Wow. About the authors. I'm going to have to read this. How come they don't have a date? They just like go right into a story. Oh, it's here. 1999. So this is almost 25 years old too. Wow. This is gorgeous. All right, and this is the Midsummer Night's Fairy Tale. So I'll be reading this. It's a bedtime story. So those 4 things, if I can bear to cut them up, I might not cut this up, but maybe I'll just copy some of the pictures. And this one may be the same thing. This will get used. So this will get used, and this will get used. And these will get used by being copied or something. I don't know. But all those are for junk journaling for sure. Inspiration, copying, or cutting up. So what else is in the bag? All right, there's more stuff. There's more stuff in the bag. So there was a little man at the flea market sitting at a table under a tree, and he had a table full of these little, what do you want to call these, little pouches that were made by someone at home. They're stitched by machine, but you can tell they're homemade. And it's quilted. A really nice job in doing these with the plastic window and double-sided, and it feels like there might be some batting or something in between the layers of material because it's, you know, it's a little puffy. And I love the floral pattern, me and my florals, right? And it just, I don't know, it's just a fun little pouch. And I figured, well, maybe his wife or somebody made them. And I didn't get to talk to him because he was talking to someone else. But I was like, oh, let me just buy one. He was selling them, you know, for just like $1, $2. I don't know. They were so cheap. And I was like, oh, I can use this for something. I could put, you know, I'll put a collection of something in here. I can store things in here, no problem, whether it's pens or pencils or washi tape. It doesn't matter. I probably should have bought 2 from him, but if he's there again, maybe I'll pick up another one. And then I saw this at a vendor, and she said I could have it for $1. And I'm like, oh, this would be awesome in my vintage sewing journal, and at the same time, I can learn some of these stitches. Oop, there's a cat in my lap and she's falling off. Learn some of these stitches, and this is the Lazy Daisy stitch. And look at this, it shows you how to do it. And look at this, look at these, perfect for my vintage sewing journal, which I haven't made yet. Look at this. I love it. A knitting bag. And don't forget, babies. Oh, let's read this. Make these of gingham and trim with lazy daisies. An easy to make laundry bag for your room. Scatter lazy daisies on your babushka. knitting bag. It is one long piece gathered onto handles. And don't forget baby sister. And there's a little elf down here that says, turn the page, please. I love it. A thimble, of course. Oh, you will need a thimble, of course. Embroidery floss. Oh, look at these little characters. Embroidery needles. See the long eyes. This is a skein 6-strand embroidery floss. Here are all 6 strands. You can use them all together. You can divide them in half and use 3, or in thirds and use 2, or even a single one for very fine work. Now thread your needle. Oh, I love this. Oh, this is Coats and Clark's. Issued the Educational Bureau of Coats and Clark's. Park Avenue, New York, New York. I don't see a date though. I love it. I love it. And this is the French knot stitch. Oh my gosh. These are just too adorable. How to use the French knot. Make these of gingham and trimmed with French knots. Ooh, everybody likes a scrapbook. Put a gingham border on a guest towel for mom. What fun, a doggy pillow. A dress protector. Nice to have, nice to give. Your very own belt. Line it with muslin. Turn the page, please. Ooh, the feather stitch. Oh, this is interesting. These are a little bit ripped. They're vintage. They're very fragile. I might have to glue them in and put some matte medium on them or something. The feather stitch. Ooh, I don't even know how to do this one. Something to learn. I make everything on gingham. All right, I'm going to have to try this one. The feather stitch. And make it zigzag. 2 stitches on each side, or 3, or even 4. Well, it looks like that herringbone stitch I was doing on my machine the other day. They call it a feather stitch. Oh, different variations. That's interesting. Oh, I love this. I love this. I love this. This is the blanket stitch. Now this one, I know how to do this one around the edge. These are so fun. I got all these for $1. And they're truly vintage, aren't they? The outline stitch. The outline stitch. The outline stitch. The outline stitch. You must learn to make it very straight and even. This is easy to do on checked gingham. You can make curves or straight lines. I have to figure out how they're doing this. Oh, is this like a back stitch, I guess? Okay. I guess that's just like a back stitch. We got, here's a herringbone stitch. Ooh, the herringbone stitch. So I was not far off, was I? It's like X's. Wow. Running stitch. That's what we all do. Our running stitch. Cross stitch. Well, these were very fun to look at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. Not bad for $1. And in the bag, and I was actually looking for this, with some vintage baby wrap. Baby wrapping paper, baby wrapping paper. So this will go away for junk journal. And my cousin's daughter had a baby boy, and I wanted some vintage wrapping paper to do a page in my journal, and isn't this just too precious? Oh, I love this. I think I bought, I don't know, she was selling them like for $1, but she actually gave me 2 for $1, so it was like 50 cents. And this is exactly what I was looking for. I couldn't believe it. I was looking for a vintage baby boy gift wrap paper to use as a background in my journal. So that is going to be my next page. I still have my journal right here. This is my flower shaped summer journal. And the baby was born a few months ago, but you know, I was working on it. working on it. And I'm going to put this paper right here. And when I come back, I'm going to use this really cute baby wrapping paper to do a page in the journal. I have his picture with his mama. And I think I'm going to go in the closet and look for a vintage baby card and add that. Because I know I have a bunch I bought at the flea market too. Oh, I thought I was done. I'm not done. This is not for junk journaling. This is for Possum Patty's rock crystal collection. I got to talking to a gentleman who sells crystals and polished stones and things. And a mushroom, look at this. It's a polished mushroom, and I love the green and black. I don't have any mushrooms, stones, any stones that are shaped into a mushroom shape. And I thought I would put that over there with my fairies. And I did get 3 of the little polished stones, gorgeous colors. I got 2 stars and a heart, and I thought the fairies would love those. And one more thing. I bought a kewpie. I bought a kewpie, and this is the one that I love. There's a couple of different styles of kewpies, and this is the one that I love. The gentleman did put a new elastic band on there, but it needs to be cleaned up. And I don't know, it's bisque or something, but it is so precious. See, look, ever since I got this, ever since I got this sheet, I probably got this at the flea market too, right? I'm like, oh, I wish I had one of these. And look, it's the one. This is it. This is the one. Oh, I love it. And you know what? I saw it earlier in the year at the flea market, and he wanted $30 for it. And I'm like, well, I don't know what they're worth. I'll have to research it. It's in pretty good shape. It needs to be cleaned up. You know, it's got a couple little worn spots on it, but you know, the end of the finger there, it's not, you know, perfect, but it's well loved, and I love it. So I hadn't seen the gentleman there in quite a while, and he was there on Sunday, and I said, how much for the Cupid doll? He said, $50, and I'm thinking $50. At the beginning of the season, he had said $30. And then I just stood there, and he said, oh, $45. And I just stood there, and he said, $40. And I just stood there, and I looked at him, and I said, will you take $30? He said, yes, and he took it. I mean, because that's what he said at the beginning. I mean, I didn't tell him that I already asked about it earlier, because I'm sure a lot of people ask about it. But I had done the research, and this is well worth $30. It's got the marking on the bottom. So it's not perfect, and it has gotten new elastic in there, but I know, I can't believe I spent that much money. Because you know me, I go to the I go to the flea market and I'll spend $1 here, $1 there, $2, okay, $3, I'll buy it. But this was very special. And I'm going to clean it up and put it in the cabinet. I don't think I will leave it out because I don't want the cats to knock it over. But I just love it. I'm going to clean it up a little bit and put it in the cabinet so that it doesn't get broken. But anyway, so thanks for coming along today. I know. So I was going to do the journal page, but I spent too much time looking at what I bought. So I will come back and do the vintage paper baby boy page. Happy bargain hunting. Bye-bye.